Ooh, I see a spider. Let's get rid of that rather quickly. So, some nice large tomatoes. Got many different varieties at the moment. I've got 11 or 14 plants, 14 plants and 11 different varieties. I think these are chocolate tomatoes. Gosh, if only they tasted like chocolate. Tigerella. I so hope that focuses. And these can come off tomorrow because they're nice and red, but not quite there. Not quite. I know there's so many spiders lurking in here and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I've come to collect these, which are my seed explosions. I had an order for them yesterday and I put them in here to dry, but they're still really, really wet. So I'm going to take them into the house. I don't think they're going to dry in there very well, but they're certainly not drying out here, so that's not looking too good. Shall we give it some water? Let's give it some water. Try and perk it up a little bit. Them, should I say, because there's 3 of them. Give you a little bit. Don't want to do too much. Lavender really like the drought. So you give them too much water and they basically drown. They're really not keen. So you've got to be very, 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 very careful. There's one here that I've managed to get from a cutting that's almost had its time now, but still got a little bit of growing to do. A pepper that really didn't make much of anything this time round. And my lemon tree. Now the lemon tree I have in here purely because it helps keep little bugs away. The smell of it, even just rubbing a leaf, the smell of it's wonderful. I'm not aiming to grow lemons, I'm in the wrong climate for that. But what I will do on a very regular basis, because they grow so quick, is take off. Ow! Ugh, I can't do it with one hand. How do people do this filming lark? I can't do it with one hand. I'll have to come back in a little bit when I've got both. But I'll take off some of the new branches. I do want it to come up and out a little bit. But I don't want it to branch too much because we're in a greenhouse. We're not in a summer house. So yes, tomatoes are doing well. 11 different varieties going on. But I'm not going to grab any today. But what I can do is take off some of the excess leaves, which is a rather good idea, and I can do it with one hand, which is very helpful. Tomatoes are very, very robust. They can take quite a bit of rough, thankfully. And basically I'm taking the leaves off purely because you want the efforts to go into the fruit, not into new growth. So if you take the new growth out, it will go, oh, okay then, let's put some in the tomatoes. And then it does. So that's all very handy. So every now and again, just take some of the bushiness away. And for me, it'll be less of a jungle in here, which means that I can do a little bit more greenhouse work, which will benefit not only myself, but the plants as well. So we can get this off without hurting. Yeah. Be so careful because I don't want to disrupt her. So it's really, really simple. So here's a really excess one. Done. It's that easy. That easy. Nearly done. Don't worry. I know this is boring YouTube. I know. But it's also possibly helpful to somebody somewhere, even though it might be boring you. Okay. Nearly done. Oh, I can't take that one because that's part of a chain. Oops, I lost a tomato. Tomato. Gosh, that was common. Sorry. Tomato. I lost a tomato. You want to keep a good amount of leaves on because obviously, like any plant, they feed from the leaves, the sun. Chlorophyll is certainly a good thing. So you need to make sure they can still feed. I'm going to prop you up, my darling. Somehow. Or not. But yeah, I think that will do for now. I think. For the moment. So a nice good bunch. Can now gather it all together. And bring it over here. To a very lively, normally, yeah, there we go, compost bin. Beautiful slug on the top. Lots and lots of wriggly worms. They're all pooping and wood lice as well. Pooping and creating a habitat. Look at the slugs. I don't like slugs, I don't want slugs because slugs do this. My poor bean plant. Poor bean. So this is all fallen down because this was right up the pole, but it's all slid down a bit because of the wind and the rain. But we still have some beans on it. We've got to wait until they go completely purple before I can grab them. I think that bean's just had it completely, poor thing. It's been eaten to oblivion. Anyway, poor garden, it's taken a battering. Oh dear.